Kale and Lyra walk through the glowing blue forest of the Rift realm. Bioluminescent plants light their path, and floating lights dance like spirits, reacting to the Rift Blade's power. Strange Rift creatures peek from behind crystal-like trees. They are curious, not yet hostile, sensing the energy from the newly awakened blade. Floating islands drift lazily across the purple sky, connected by glowing energy streams. The scenery reminds Kale of a world shaped entirely by magic. Kale notices levitating rock formations, forming intricate geometric patterns in the air. They resonate faintly with the blade's energy. A magical river glows blue, flowing with energy that feeds the forests and islands. Small rift fish leap through the air, unaffected by gravity. The ancient temple appears, carved from black stone with blue runes. It radiates energy, warning intruders that only those chosen may enter. Statues with glowing eyes guard the entrance, watching Kale and Lyra. They are relics of the ancient guardians who first sealed the blade. Inside, a massive map of both worlds is carved into the floor. Glowing lines connect locations across realms, showing the flow of energy between them. Kale examines the pulsing energy line that leads directly to his town, realizing that the final rift is forming there. Lyra explains that the world's balance is unstable. Too many open portals could collapse reality itself, merging the human and rift worlds catastrophically. Kale kneels to touch a glowing line on the floor. The blade resonates, humming with power, as if acknowledging his responsibility. Magical visions appear, showing storms forming in the human world and rift creatures slipping through weakened barriers. Ancient murals depict past wielders of the blade, showing Kale the lineage of heroes who came before him. A crystal sphere in the temple flickers, showing portals opening and closing uncontrollably in both worlds, indicating chaos is spreading. Kale reaches out to touch a glowing symbol. The blade's energy courses through him, revealing visions of potential futures depending on his choices. The temple chamber brightens as the map activates fully. Energy surges through the room, highlighting the urgency of stopping the rifts. Kale and Lyra study the map together, realizing that only they can reach the final rift in time, as all other paths are blocked or too dangerous. Outside, rift storms swirl violently, causing minor earthquakes. Kale feels the blade's power pulling him toward his town. Kale grips the blade, his determination growing. The visions and warnings of the temple crystallize into a singular mission: protect both worlds. As they leave the temple, energy ripples through the rift realm, alerting enemies that the blade has a new wielder. Kale steps forward into danger, ready for the next challenge. Kale and Lyra enter a foggy forest as shadowy figures begin to close in. The mist reacts to the blade's power, curling around their legs like living smoke. The leader of the Rift Hunters steps forward, red half-mask glowing ominously. His presence radiates authority and threat. Close-up of the hunter leader pointing his weapon at Kale. The air crackles with dark energy, signaling the start of a deadly confrontation. Kale grips the blade defensively. Blue energy radiates from the runes along the sword, guided by his instinct and the blade's intelligence. Lyra positions herself beside Kale, her staff glowing. She channels her magic to protect him from multiple attackers simultaneously. The first clash begins. Sparks fly as hunter weapons meet Lyra's shield. The forest shakes under the force of their battle. Kale swings the blade with desperation. A bright arc of blue energy explodes outward, pushing back enemies and scattering debris. Wide shot of the foggy forest battlefield. Red energy from the hunters collides with blue magic from Kale and Lyra, illuminating the mist. A hunter grabs Kale, attempting to wrest the blade from him. Kale feels the weight of responsibility and the pressure of the blade's power. Lyra unleashes a shockwave of magic that knocks several hunters back, giving Kale a moment to regain his balance. Kale discovers the blade's energy arc attack. He swings instinctively, releasing a wave of light that pushes back the enemies. The energy arc cuts through the fog, revealing glimpses of the forest and the magical creatures watching from the shadows. The hunters leap aside, preparing for another assault. Kale realizes he must combine skill, courage, and the blade's power to survive. Kale and Lyra dash through the forest, dodging attacks. Each step resonates with the blade's energy, lighting their path. Particles of residual magic swirl around them as they move. The forest itself seems alive, responding to the blade's presence. A hunter throws a spear of red energy. Kale narrowly deflects it, feeling the increasing danger of holding the blade in this battle. Lyra grabs Kale and pulls him out of harm's way. Their movements are perfectly synchronized, showing growing trust and teamwork. Kale glances back at the shadowy figures of the hunters. Their relentless pursuit demonstrates the stakes. Failure could mean the collapse of both worlds. The blade leaves a glowing trail as Kale swings it to create openings. He begins to understand that the sword reacts to his intent and courage. They reach a distant cliff where the final rift glows ominously. Kale pauses, knowing the ultimate challenge lies ahead and that everything depends on his next move.